Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the month 4 update for my temperature blanket for Port Alsworth, Alaska. I have it right here, and it just feels like it's turning more and more into a blanket every single month. It makes me very happy. We're gonna go into month 4, see the different things that we saw this month, as well as go over some of the things that you're gonna see in the next following months. So grab your cup of coffee, or I guess in my case, I just have water with me today, because it is the afternoon. This is definitely a big project. Like, I knew that it was going to be a big project when I started it. Didn't realize how big of a project this was going to be. First, let me show you what April looked like. So as you can see, these top ones are April. We got a lot of 20 degrees, a lot of 30 degrees, and a lot of 40 degrees. We didn't see any new color added, no 50-degree range, and as you can see, it's definitely getting warmer because it's curling a little bit. But end of the month, we stuck to that 40s. We have just a random 20 in here, but we really did stick to that 40-degree range, which I think that next month we're really gonna see that 50 degrees pop out. I left some notes on my phone so we can be a little bit organized today. This month I think I only did one weekly video. I've been posting them short form on like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and I didn't do that this month because week 15 was the week I was going to Anchorage for my surgery. Week 16 was my surgery. Week 17 was last week, so recovery week, and now we're on week 18. And because April is halfway in this month, I went ahead and just finished the month of April on the blanket. And then next week, or I don't know when this video is going to be posted honestly, but the week 18 update, I will post it and hopefully stay with posting weekly on the short form. It does take time to make these flowers. My week 1 update, I do have a tutorial on how to make them. If you are interested in making your own, I've seen people make bags, pillowcases, even full blankets out of these, like me, like what I'm doing. But you don't have to make something that big. You can make something smaller. So if you want to know how to make these flowers, definitely go to my month 1 update. That way you can get the full tutorial there. They do take time. I think in the beginning it took me about 6 minutes to make each flower. I think I brought it down to about 4 minutes. So shredding off a little bit of time the more I do this blanket. I know there's over 100 flowers in here already. And also my month 3 video was filmed in Hawaii because we were there visiting my parents on vacation. So that was really fun, being able to travel with this. Thankfully, it is not very heavy and it's not very big, so it didn't take much room in my bag. And actually, one of my viewers named Salina made me a bag that I brought with me, and it comfortably held all my skeins of yarn, my hook, my little color chart, but not the blanket. That's okay. But it held everything else that I needed to bring with me, which was great. Also in that video, I told you I was about to finish my first skein of yarn since starting this blanket, and that was for the 30-degree range. So if anything, that tells me we've seen more 30 degrees than anything else. I finished about half a flower before I totally ran out of that skein and didn't bring the second skein with me to Hawaii, but I did finish it. And so in the beginning, I think it's probably one of these 2 flowers where it started skein number 2. So that is the first color we've actually had to start a second skein for. Right now our 20-degree range is getting close, but I think that this is probably the last we'll see of the 20s until fall time. So interesting, fun. Now that April is over, I think we're gonna see a lot of warmer temps in May. Oh, funny, so I tried to film this video earlier and I didn't like how the mic worked, so I'm redoing it now. And when I looked earlier, there was some 50 degrees here and now it's all bumped down to 40. So that's what I've seen a lot of over the past couple weeks, is seeing that we have a couple of highs in the 50s, which would bring us this new color, unlock a new color, this coral, which I think is super pretty, and I think it would be a fun pop in the blanket. Just when that's gonna happen, I don't know yet. When I've been keeping track of the temperature, I've been just going off of the weather app that's on the iPhone. Is it the most accurate? Probably not. I know that my parents' thermometer at their house has shown 50 degrees, in the 50-degree range, so a couple of times. But I don't want to skew the blanket. I want to go straight off of what my phone is saying the temperature is. So we're gonna stick with this for the entire year. If I find something that is more accurate, then I will go with that. But my phone, it's very handy because it knows I'm checking the temperature every morning. It's the first thing that pops up on my phone as suggested, check today's temperature. And I just add it to a Google Sheets. Actually, let me show you that now, because I have a Google Sheets doc and I have my color-coded range. Oh, wrong way. Have my color-coded range. Then I have the dates here, and I also color-coded the temperatures. And the reds on the side, those are just the Sundays. I just realized that this is not updated, but my blanket is. But the last couple days of April have been in the 30s and 40s. So not much of a change from what it has been the past 2 weeks. So what I do with that baggie is on Sundays, I sew everything onto the blanket. And then in the fiber arts world, there's something called WIP Wednesdays, which WIP stands for work in progress. So people who are crocheting and knitting, they will show their work in progress. Sometimes you'll see these videos on Instagram or on TikTok, just showing the progress of the things that they are making. So I try to post this on Wednesdays just to stay with that work in progress WIP Wednesday. A little bit behind, but I will just catch up once week 18 is done, which half of it's already on the blanket. First few days of May, we'll add to here when we know what those colors will be. And it's also really easy for me to see which direction the blanket needs to be worked because I have the filler flowers at the bottom. Those are because all my flowers have a white center and a colored background. These ones are a brown center because I don't have any other brown in the blanket besides this mushroom color, which is kind of a brownish gray, and the white because the white's in the center. So that is my filler flower, which I know is going to be at the bottom because my blanket is 24 by 31 flowers. 24 because we have a high and a low row, so 2 rows per month equals 24. Then we have 31 because the longest day of the month is 31 days, but even though some of the months don't have 31 days, they need a filler flower, so everything is even. Something that I wish I did earlier was make extra flowers in the higher temperature ranges, because once summer comes, it's gonna be a lot harder to stay caught up. I realized that within a movie, I can do about a week's worth of flowers, just make them, but that doesn't count sewing them into a line and then sewing them onto the blanket. Yeah, that definitely takes a lot longer, maybe equal amount of time to do that. So we're gonna stay caught up as much as we can throughout the summer, but I think if I would have made more flowers like that when things were slower, it would have made life a lot easier, but it is what it is. We'll stay caught up as much as we can. And because of that, and with the lack of snow, we really haven't had a very wet spring, what we call breakup season here in Alaska, which is when things get muddy, roads are not usable, airports are not usable. That's one of the challenges in the springtime with living where we are. As you know, there's only way to get anything out here is by airplane. And if the runway is too soft, the heavier airplanes cannot come in. So smaller airplanes can come in, which the smaller airplanes are more sensitive, I guess, to weather and different instruments that are not inside a bigger airplane. So if weather was a factor, you definitely want to be in a bigger airplane compared to a smaller plane. So that definitely adds a whole different level of challenge to getting things and flying in the springtime. Thankfully, a couple of years ago, we redid the top of our runway, so we haven't had a major problem like that. But even some of the main roads and even some of the side roads that I thought would be pretty bad are not as bad as they usually are. So yay to less mud and no breakup season, but boo to a warm winter. I also hope I don't jinx myself by saying this, but something I'm very proud of myself is that I have used the same crochet hook for this entire blanket. The 3.5 millimeter that I've been using, that's the only thing that's made this blanket, which is odd because I usually use a 5 millimeter hook, and I think I have over 20 of them around my house, and I feel like I never have enough. So I'm very impressed that I have kept that singular needle or hook, I guess, for this entire project, and we're 4 months in. Also, all of this is with the Big Twist Joann's yarn, and right before they went, like, completely weren't selling anything online, I went and bought like 2 of all of the colors that I needed. I'll actually go upstairs and show you guys my little stash here. It is not very well organized, but this is my temperature blanket yarn stash. Probably could put these up here now that there is some room. And I have some alpaca wool yarn and some other yarn that a friend gifted me. And then more yarn that a friend gifted me. But that is all of it that I have left right there. That's all I have left. And if I was thinking, I would have gotten even more to do this double-sided for 2025 and 2026, because right now the idea is to put a flannel or some sort of panel on the back to cover all the loose ends, which way better than trying to weave in, and it'll look a lot nicer. But I think it would have been really cool to see it double-sided, but I don't think I'll have enough yarn, and realizing that like some of the, like this brown is not Big Twist, and it definitely makes and it's a different like texture. I don't remember what brand this brown is, but it's definitely not Big Twist, and so it definitely makes a little bit bigger of a flower, so I want to stick with the same brand. I heard a rumor that Big Twist is being sold, actually purchased by a different company, sold somewhere else. I haven't done a lot of research onto it. I think I need to just check it out because I'd love to do year 2 into this again. You guys will see this video sometime in the beginning of May, which will more than likely be during my posts of a daily vlog getting ready for lodge season. So this is a little break from that, but oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited for lodge season to start. I'm so excited for this blanket to grow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to show you guys what month number 5 has in store. It's looking more and more like a blanket. It's so fun.